Okay. So I'm getting someone thought you were just a good time, but the more that they experience your presence, they realized you are a long time. Love me long time. Okay? Beep beep beep. Heard that 3 times. That's that is working together with someone. 1, 2, 3. Destiny. I heard 1, 2, 3 destiny. Alright. Alright, that's where we're starting. Hello, I'm Mystic Alchemy. Thank you for being here. Alright. Thank you for your likes, shares, your subscribes, your comments. You are very much appreciated to me, and I love you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratitude. Namaste. Is that you, Sunshine? Come. Okay. Let's get back to scheduled programming. So, okay, someone at first, they were just physically attracted to you. And then they were like, hold on, hold up, wait a minute, wait 1 second. I think I see something. And I think I like it. Yes, that's what I see. Now, they're magnetized to you. I saw the devil card come out when I split the deck, and I was gonna say something else, but then I heard they're magnetized to you. Magnetic attraction. There's something within you that they feel like they need that. I heard that's mine. There's something that you have that they feel as though they need it. It's nourishment of the soul. That's what it is. It's nourishment of the soul. That's why they feel like they need it. There's some relationships on earth, no matter what type, but they're healing. And you know because you realize that you start to feel healed, like out of nowhere. Just from being around a person, talking to them, communicating with them. You ever talk to someone and you're like, I'm glad I talked to you? Or has someone ever said that to you? Like, I'm glad I asked you. You always say the right thing that I need to hear. And even if you don't say exactly what I thought I needed to hear, you tell me, or what I thought I wanted to hear, you tell me what I needed to hear. There's also something about your energy where people tend to trust you, you know. There's a trust there because they know, it's like they feel aligned with you in this way of kin. I heard next of kin. And next of kin is usually, you know, your right hand in the family, like the person that, like if you're married, that would be your husband or your wife. And for your parents, that's usually their husband or wife or you as a child. But what I'm getting is many people feel closer to you than they do to their actual blood family. I heard, and so they say blood is thicker than water. It is, but water has a flow to it. Blood does too, but there's something about the purity. Some people's bloodline is toxic. There's toxicity injected into the bloodline. Like, if you notice, certain people's families have a lot of mental health issues. And it's like the bloodline has been corrupted. Okay. And then there's one family member, or maybe, well, it's usually, it feels like one family member in one generation is the one. I heard that sometimes there's no curse breakers in a generation, and that's when I heard the plot thickens. But anyway, because I don't want to, that's going to take me somewhere else from what I'm saying. In each generation, there is a curse breaker. And they're the ones who God selected for the task to heal the family wounds. They were created to do it. They were made for it. That's what you're made for. Go on and get it. Okay, so this is what you've been made for. You've been made as the curse breaker. You've been created to break curses. For who this resonates with. This will not be for everyone, because you'll know if you are the curse breaker of the family. You will know. You were selected by God. I heard somebody say, how do I know if I'm the curse breaker? You're the one that your family tends to depend on for various reasons. And it's usually emotionally and financially, or one or the other. And very rarely are there two curse breakers within, or more than one curse breaker within one generation, I'm hearing. Oh, okay. So the only way that there's multiple curse breakers is if there's a culture within there's a culture that's taken on within the bloodline. Like, for example, how Jewish people connect with each other and how they strive to ensure that everyone has a high income. Like, you are like, from what I see, it's like the men must have high income in order for what they're doing to work. Like how they are sovereign. In order for that to work, there must be high income for all the men. The women are just in the house with the babies, taking care of, they usually have a lot of babies in those communities, or in the Jewish community. And like, for instance, my mom ended up living in a Jewish community. She's like, she's around many Jewish people because it's their community. But she moved there because the house was available. Her landlord liked her, and then she moved there. And it's a really nice area. But they have their own everything. Their own school, their own bus for the children to go to school, their own ambulance. They even have their own police officers, right? And that is the only way that there are multiple curse breakers within a lineage, is if it is taught to be such. It's like you grow up knowing that this is what you're going to do, and you do it. Because it's the way. They have a way. You are one of the way makers. You are a road opener, like Ogun. You also end up in Ilegua energy, like Papa Legba, where you detect the routes people can take, even though they ultimately they make the decision themselves. But I heard a disgrace to the family name. See, when there's strict rules within a family, it's less likely that a person will go off route, like off the route. When you realize how your behavior and your activities can jeopardize the family and the future of the family, it's more likely that you stay in line. Because there's structure there when there's rules. Now, if there's no rules and no guidelines, people begin to act from a place of chaos, because many people that, if you notice, many people that don't live by like rules or guidelines, they do what they want to do, but usually what people want to do is not good, because people will gravitate to what seems popular and do that. And what's popular is usually the worst thing. It's what is not mainstream that should be popular, but it is like restrained energetically, sometimes physically and psychologically. So what should be mainstream is silenced. Silence, okay? What should be mainstream is silenced, because the power of the reason why things that are righteous are not mainstream is because it would throw off the balance of the benefits that many receive from what is mainstream. There's many benefits from such information or such topics. It's very lucrative because people crave drama and toxicity. So that just keeps the flow of toxicity going, and it suffocates righteousness. And when something is not breathing, it's not flowing. So you give life to your family. You give air. You give way. You have a giving spirit, a giving energy. And you can give in multiple ways, because that's how you've been made for this very reason. You've been made this way because you were born this way. You are a natural born curse breaker. So with you living, you are the remedy to your bloodline. The remedy to your bloodline is who you are. I don't know if you ever looked at yourself like that, but if you're the one that everybody always is asking for something, coming to you for something, needing your help, trusting you to ask you questions and get advice from you all the time, and you notice that this happens with majority of everyone that you meet, where your energy starts to extend out to people beyond your closest family members. You begin to have an extended family who are not a part of your actual bloodline, but they become family. They are family as well, just because we're together here on earth as brothers and sisters. So we have our family that we were born into, as well as our extended family, which are those that we meet along the way on our journey in life. I really like to hear the birds sing in the morning. It's very peaceful. And I have so many trees in front of my window, and there's birds just always up in there, just tweet, 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 tweet. They're singing in the background while I'm talking. you had to live. You had to live. It was the plan for you to live. You have to live. You have to be alive right now. Like, there's no other way. Like, you have to be here. You are a permanent fixture. I just heard you're a permanent fixture. You have to be here. If you weren't here, I heard the world will be in mourning. It would be worse if you weren't here. It would be much worse if you weren't here, because there's a ripple effect of your frequency that ripples outwardly to places far beyond what you realize. Just by how you touch one person energetically, they'll bring that energy with them. And what if they travel all the way to, the first thing I thought was Dubai, and they're going to see their family. I met someone the other day, and she told me that she's from Dubai, and we started talking about God. And I never met this person before, but that tends to happen. I just be talking to I don't know, it just happens. It's just natural. I don't know what it is, but I just start talking about deep things with people that I don't even know. But I still know her somehow, because you could feel it. You know, you feel somebody. And I was supposed to be going and leaving. I was done. I was doing something with my father and for him. And then I just started talking to this woman, and we just started talking, and it was like natural conversation about stuff. And then we ended up talking about God. She told me about her family and how they got here, and how her father moved from Dubai and had he purchased a deli, and he worked hard, and how her parents worked really hard, and how they moved to Florida from Dubai. And she's like, I wish they had have stayed in Dubai, because then I would have been able to go to school for free. And then I was like, well, did you ever ask them why they left? And she was like, no. And I'm looking and I'm thinking, wow, she never asked that to them. She never asked her parents that question. And I was like, why you didn't ask? She was like, I don't know. I just didn't ask. I said, you should ask. That part is highlighted to me for some reason. I don't know why. What is that about? Do you have questions for your parents or for your people that you never asked? I'm a asker. I will ask. Whatever it is. Like, what happened? Tell me. I want to know. Tell me what happened. I'm inquisitive. I be wanting to know stuff, so I'll ask. I remember one time I asked one of my aunts, like, about, you know, her time growing up. And you guys wouldn't believe what she said to me. She was like, it was all bad. You don't want to know. I was like, damn, you just going to shut it down like that? But I do want to know. I just asked you. I think she was just like so traumatized by it. She didn't even want to do it. And then I was like, but wait, can you give me something? She shut down. And I'm like, look at how much trauma is in my family. Like, you know, when you just, have you ever just sat back, for some of you, maybe all of you don't feel like this, but have you ever just sat back and looked at your family and you pinpoint things that are not right? And like, you see when certain family members are going through something and what they're going through and where their head is at, and like, you know? And that trauma, don't think it just stops with them. Even if you didn't go through exactly what they went through, it still runs through your blood. You could still feel your family because they're your family. They're around you. You see what they're doing. You see how they're moving. And regardless of how much you could say, oh, it doesn't affect me because it's not me, little do you know, they are you and you are them. So the best thing you could do is do the best with what you have and with who you are, so that you can be a pillar of strength around so much weakness. Because if you're weak, it's like, forget about it. At that point, if the curse breaker becomes weak, or if they become, I don't know why I want to say volatile, or if they become if they become like stuck in a space of being under the influence. Okay, now Spirit is talking about like how certain family members have gifts, and then substance abuse takes over, so then they don't get a chance to actually be who they were meant to be, because okay, there's family members that came before you and they were also meant to be curse breakers, but they didn't answer that call, and they whatever they did, they didn't answer it. And being that they didn't answer, there was a domino effect, and it caused other family members to also go astray. What's that word I said? Volatile? Liable to change rapidly and unpredictably, especially for the worse. Yeah, that's the right word. I just wanted to make sure I was using it properly because it just came to me. Volatile. So there were many before you that actually did do their part, but then it's almost like sometimes the curse breaker feels like there's so much weight on their shoulders that it doesn't feel like it's just their own. It feels like the weight of the world. And that is because there's many individuals from the past that are within your lineage that didn't pick up the baton. They chose not to run the race. They were alive, but they was just here, but they weren't really active in the spirit, you know. Okay, so you know, when you watch a race and they run and then they pass the baton and then they can stop, and then the other one is running, and then it happens again, pass the baton to the next teammate. The thing is that everybody doesn't want to take the baton, and it causes stress on, I heard, the past and the future of the lineage. So until groups or families become sovereign within their own communities, the world will continue to be in chaos. And they're gonna keep cat fighting. Like the cat that I heard outside just now. Did you hear that cat fighting? Cat fight. That's what we see on the news. We turn on the news, we see cat fights. Just imagine everybody on the news as a cat when they be arguing. It's just a bunch of cat fights. That's it. It's not real like progress. It's cat fights. That's what it is. They might as well just meow at each other with anger, because most of the time when they start talking, nothing really makes much sense anyway, so you might as well meow. People still don't know what you're talking about, so you might as well just do that, right? Yeah, but you know, Spirit wants you to know this because it's important. Just for you to know. You do what you like with it, do what you want, but it's information that you should know about, like, why are you the one that's always the one? You know, why are you the one that's always the one? And where are the others? You wonder, where are the others? And then sometimes you're able to help some of the others realize their place in all of this, and then they help because now they know, because they didn't know because they didn't have the mind to automatically know. You're the one who led them to realize. Sometimes we just need someone to realize who we are when you don't know who you are, because many people walk this earth and they don't even know what to do, really. It's just like you just are trying to survive at that point, but you don't really know what you can offer, what you do that is good. You really don't know. So sometimes, you know, you have those special someones that can tell you about yourself because they are connected to the spirit realm, and the spirit through the expertise of spirit. Those who are linked in spirit are able to see opportunities inside of people that they are able to take advantage of if they choose to take action. And for those who can see beyond the physical of a person, can then share what they see from what was told to them in the spirit and allow that person to make a decision. But at least they know, even if they say no, at least they know, even if they decline the destiny that God has cut out for them. Because you must know, anytime one actually aligns with their spiritual destiny, there might be times, almost said terms. There might be terms. That's like terms and conditions in a contract. There might be times or terms that can be challenging. But it's not forever, and it also depends on the terms and conditions that you lay out, because they're flexible in a way. As long as you do what God desires from you and you know what that is, you can do it how you want to do it. Just do it. When you answer, you just do it. It doesn't matter how you do it, but you don't have to do it the same way. You don't have to do it like everybody else did it. And many times, Spirit tells me, all of these gifts you have them to use them all. Don't set anything aside just because you think it's inappropriate for your own or from your own understanding. What I need you to understand is that everything I have given you, you use it because it is all of great value to you. Even if you don't know exactly why, eventually you will see, because that is a part of the learning journey. Okay? Eventually you will see why. Just let it play out and use everything I gave you. Use it, because you using everything I gave you is protection. If you know how to be lighthearted, you're not a threat. You know how powerful what I said is? I'm going to just let that marinate. I'm not going to explain that. Spirit said don't explain it, just say it. You knowing how to be lighthearted and not always heavy and all the time, that is protection. Yes. Now there may be some people that are like stick in the mud and they don't want to laugh. They want to be all the time with the ill girl, mad. But they tend to have a hard life and a hard face, and people don't want to talk to them because they look too hard and threatening. They don't want to talk to them. But then again, sometimes people don't want to talk to you because they feel like you're intimidating just because you say whatever you want to. Then sometimes that could be intimidating as well. But I feel like as long as And a lot of times when people think that, it's not even true. It's not even that bad. If they give it a chance, it's not that bad. I remember when I was in middle school and this girl came up to me and she was like, excuse me, do you have $1? And I said, oh yeah, and I gave her $1. She was like, you gave me $1? I thought you was mean. I was like, why? What? I never said a word to that girl. I saw her all the time, but I never spoke to her. I was like, why? I don't know. I must have had a resting face, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I did. It's just my face. But that doesn't mean I'm mean. Maybe sometimes I just get serious looking, but it's just me. It's just my face. I didn't do it. I don't mean to. So, gotta soften my face with a little smirk. Smirk. So then I don't look like I might throw a bow or something. Because I'm not even trying to do that. I don't really want to do that. But anyway, that's it for this message. Everything you do, do it with love. Thank you for being here. If you would like to book a coaching call, a reading, or purchase any of my books, you can go to www.MNHONEYROSE.org. Okay? And I love you. I'll see you in the next message.